Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Niftyfifty Running, a running channel for the over 50s runner run by myself, Jonathan Walton, and also my brother Mark Walton, two runners over our 50s. First of all, I'm going to give a quick training update. It's been a while since I've been on, however I have progressed from when I was injured. So what I've been doing is I've been doing a micro cycle, 1 day of running, which has been quite a hard sort of effort, and then 2 days walking. So at the moment I've done 10 micro cycles of that. Okay, so my run day I've been building up gradually. So my first run was on the treadmill. And it was 15 minutes, and I've now progressed onto I built up to when I was 25, and I did a half marathon the other day, so quite decent progress there. I keep my runs quite hard on myself. When I come back I want to feel quite tired, so what I found is at the moment my hamstrings and my quads are quite sore when I return. And then I've got my 2 days walking, which I just do 45 minutes at quite a brisk pace. And I'd say the first day I'm still a little bit sore, and the second day it's eased off a bit. And then the third day, when I'm ready for my next run, I'm pretty much itching to get out the door, and I'm quite well motivated. Don't really matter what the weather's like, I just can't wait to get out and get my run done. So it's all going quite well at the moment. I'm just working on increasing the distance, so hopefully I'll build up gradually and build up to sort of like marathon distance, and then with 2 days off after each one, body will super compensate, muscles get stronger, and the aches and pains should start easing off once I've got to that marathon sort of distance and I've got used to it. That's all for my update. What I'm going to cover today, I'm just going to have a quick chat about it, and then I'll do a few demonstrations. So stretching, 2 ways you can stretch. Obviously there's your static stretching, and then there's your dynamic stretching. For your dynamic stretching, what I normally do is I do that before my run. Okay, it's better to do it before you run. Reason being, it can also be used as to warm up the muscles. Yeah, static stretching, it's not really going to get the blood circulating as much. So it's ideal to do dynamic stretchings as part of your warm up. So every run that I do, I always do a short set routine of dynamic stretching. It's basically movement based stretches, and what you want to try and do is mimic the movements that's gonna be the exercise that you're doing. So for example, if you're running, most of the stretches are going to be orientated around the legs or the leg muscles. It'll increase your flexibility, okay, before you run. It also increases your blood flow to your muscles prior to your run, so it's going to warm up your muscles, and it's also going to prepare your tendons and your ligaments for the activity, i.e. running. What else? Muscles, they go through a stretch shortening cycle. So basically when you're doing your dynamic stretching, that's what it's going to do. Okay, so if you're moving your leg one way, certain parts of the leg, the muscles are going to be stretching, and then if you move it the other way, it'll go the reverse, so they'll be shortening, and then the other side will be stretching. I'll explain that a little bit more when I do the actual demo. Other examples of the stretch shortening cycle are things like plyometrics. So like box jumps, that sort of thing. So that's just an example. The 4 exercises I'm going to cover on my demonstration, I'm going to do a pendulum, I'm going to do a leg swing, and then I'm going to do high knee, and then I'm going to do heel flicks. What I found with static stretching, it's probably better to do static stretching after you run. Okay, so your muscles are all warmed up. You've done all your dynamic stuff before, and then you can do your static stretching after, and that's going to help you with the cool down. Okay, you don't really want to be doing dynamic stuff after you run. Okay, so you're letting your body cool down as a natural sort of process. So static stretching, it just fits in there. Okay, so dynamic stretching before, and then static stretching after. If, however, you do want to do static stretching before you run, I'd say have a warm up for about 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes warm up, do your static stretching, and then at least your muscles are sort of like warmed up. Other times, if you're doing stuff like gymnastics, yoga, that sort of thing, well, your static stretchings before, it'd be fine because it's more orientated towards more flexibility. And I think that's about it. So what I'll do now is go on to some demonstrations. Okay then, first exercise I'm going to do is the pendulum. So I mentioned earlier about the stretch shortening cycle. So for example, if I'm doing the pendulum, which is basically swinging the leg forward and then moving it back. Yeah, so when it's going forward, all this is stretching, this bit's shortening, and then when it's going back, it's shortening there and it's going to stretch down here. Okay, so that's just a quick introduction to how it's going. When you do it, try and keep the feet forward, body as straight as you can, and then you just try to pivot from the hip. Okay, so you're stretching all the way down here and then all the way down the back. What I'll normally do is about 10 each side, and I'll do 2 sets of that. You'll find that if you try and keep your legs straight, you can feel the stretch a lot more, especially down the back of the hamstring. But you don't want to overdo it too much. Just gradually increase the range of movement as you're going along. And then all I do is turn round and then another set of 10 on the other side. Yeah, so pendulum, I do 2 sets of that. Okay, on to the next one. All this is leg swings. So all I'm going to do is swing my leg across the front of the body. Again, try and keep the foot facing forward so it's at 90 degrees. I just have to turn my back so I can hold on to something. Yeah. So start off nice and easy and then gradually increase the range of movement. Yeah, quite straightforward. That's going to stretch the outside and also the inside. Next exercise is high knees. So all I'm going to do is lift the knee up without holding on. I'm going to pull the knee up as high as I can. Okay, obviously without the hands. And then it's just straight back down. And I'll do this alternate legs. 10 reps on each leg, and I'll do 2 sets of that. And I normally rotate this with the next exercise. So I'll do one of this exercise, the next exercise, back to this, and then the other. So as you can see, they're all sort of like orientated around running movements. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite a fast sort of movement as well. Yeah, it just loosens off, around the hips. that's it for that one. And then the final one is heel flicks. Again, this is another fast movement. As I mentioned, this will be rotated with me high knees. And all it is flicking the heels up. Again, alternate legs. You should feel this quite good on the quads. Yeah, so you want to try and get your foot, basically kick your backside. Okay, that's it. That's pretty much all I do before I run. I might do a few extras like lunges, a few squats, but they're the basic exercises that I do before I go out for every run. Okay, that's all from this episode of Nifty 50 running, and I'll see you again soon.